In this video, we're going to be talking about how to create your own AI-powered app in less than 60 minutes. We're going to be showing you how to get started with Lovable and going from start to finish. If you have been thinking about getting started, there's going to be a link down below to get started, and you can start for free. If you have any questions, let us know. Now, let's get started to start building with Lovable. Now, the first thing is, what is Lovable? Lovable is a platform where you can go from text application in just a few minutes. You can create websites, different types of apps, and if you need different inspiration, you can take a look from the community, all the different things that people are building. So we're going to get started and use the new AI agent or the agent mode with Lovable. And this is going to allow us to reduce error rates by 90%, they're saying, cut down on unwanted changes, and make Lovable even better than ever. So we're going to get started. And now this is the main format to do it. So let's take a look and start building. So what we're going to build real quick is a website where people can sell their data. So, say for instance, if you're trying to paywall a database or something like that, this is what we're going to be building. For example, if we're thinking about cyber leads or something like that, we're going to build a similar type of website and we're going to bring it in. So, like, say for instance, find your new clients for your agency. You get to unlock all of these different things right here. You can see more, and that's what we're going to create. So let's begin and see how we can start using this. So I'm going to write right here. I'm going to say I want to create a database that I can charge for. Think about it as a micro app where I can have a paywall. So I'm going to add that right there. I can also, if you look at this, right, I can import from Figma. I can add attachments. I can say what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be connecting it to Supabase in a little bit. So having it as a database in the background, but let's start here. Now I'm going to add it and see what it does. So on the left-hand side, we're seeing what Lovable is doing. It's thinking about it, saying, I love this idea. A database micro app with a paywall is a great SaaS concept. Let me break down what you'll need to build it. I just heard a bing in my ear, so it's building it out right now. What we're building, a database-driven content, articles, data, user authentication, payment system, access control, beautiful UI. It says key components it's building, database, where you can store your content, user subscriptions, authentication, payment processing, backend logic, and front end. Okay, so now it's telling me what it's going to do right here. So let's see, first of all, let's refresh it and see what it built, first of all. So there's no preview right here. That's fine. It's saying once Supabase is connected, I'll help you build a database schema, all of those kind of things. Okay, cool. So let's dive into this a little bit more. If you have used Lovable before or just getting started, let me know. Or if you have any questions, let me know too. So it's saying, let's look at the Supabase integration. Let me log into Supabase real quick. Doing this on the other screen and then logging in. So let's take a look. One moment. Let me log in as we're doing this. Open this on another page. It's talking about Supabase integration. Let me go ahead. Verify the device. Okay, so we're verifying right here. It's redirecting in Supabase. All right. And again, I'm doing this on another screen just so we have everything going good. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let me delete some projects real quick. Project setting, delete project. Excuse me. I apologize. I should have myself. Sorry for the people with the volume high. I apologize. Let's see. I would like to see. Awesome. So you're saying like to see when I'm doing this in Superbase? Let me know. Right now, I'm going and deleting projects. And for security things, that's why I have it off. But I'll show it in one moment. Let's see. I'm going to do one more project. Okay. It's fine. Delete project. Copy, paste that. Understand I'm deleting the project. All right. Successful. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's go back here. Okay. Let's integrate some things. Connect Superbase. I'm going to click the button right here. Connect a project, manage connected organizations. So we have that. Continue, create project. So we're going to create a project right here. I'm going to say micro, let's see. Let's say paywall boilerplate. So all I'm saying is like this is boilerplate right here. I'm going to switch it over here. I'm just adding a password real quick. Here we go. Doing that. Use it. There we go. Copy the clipboard. So these are just some security things I had to go through real quick. And I'm extra careful now. I used to do this and I'm like, oh, no one's watching my stream. And some bad things happen. So I'm super careful now. Or I try to be careful. Okay. Here we go. Let's cancel, connect project. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Got this. Let's go back out. Connect Superbase. Connect to project. Search. There we go. All right, that's better. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. I actually have a project that needs a website. Oh, awesome. Well, let's do this, right? So let's do this for a second. I was surfing, trying to see what I could pick up, and I found you. What is Lovable? Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so as this is working, I'll kind of explain what Lovable is. So there'll be a link in the comment section. Thank you so much for dropping by. Okay, so let's go back to what Lovable is. Okay. I'll come back to this page in 1 second. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so Lovable allows you to create web applications or websites very quickly using AI. So you can create apps, websites just by chatting with AI. So, say for instance, these are examples of different websites people have built and just using AI. You can take advantage of this by remixing it. So you could just use this right here as, as an example of a website you can build, or you can just write in the type of website that you're trying to create, the style, and then it will create that website. Yeah, it's super powerful. So that's really allowing you to build out whatever you'd like. So say for instance, what type of website are you trying to create? Those kind of things. Or you can say, hey, I want a website and then I want it to connect to a database so I can sell things. You can do the two things, right? So we were just looking at that. Let's take a look at the projects I'm working on. Okay, so this is welcome to the blank app, building your amazing project here, right? So I just connected the database that makes my application smart. And now we'll say, what's next? Just keep building. For answers, just ask. Okay. So I'm using text to app. So I have now connected my Supabase database in the back end. Let's start building the front end. And I'm going to put this in chat mode so we can go into this. I'm going to say, what's the next steps? So we're going to chat, see what it says. Chat. Here we go. Okay, so it's saying, great. Now that Supabase projects is connected, let's examine your current setup and plan the next step. Based on my examination of your project, I can see that you have a clean, lovable project with Supabase connected. Here's what I recommend for the next steps to build. Supabase connected, one minor security, so that not critical for getting started, ready to build the core functionality. Authentication, database structure, paywall, and then immediate steps. Okay, database before we need some key information. Okay, so this is really interesting. So this is really doing back end first, then creating the front end. So when I'm going to, that just means it's creating all the logic to keep the application. I'm going to, what I'm going to do is, can I add pictures? Yeah. So I'm going to look at a website real quick. I'm going to take this for inspiration. So I took screenshots of that. I'm going to attach it to the, let's see about this. I'm going to attach it to the chat. Attached are screenshots of the type of website that I want to create with this application. Can we create a website for potential users to sign up before signing in? Putting that. Let's chat more. Chat. Okay. Just thinking for a moment. Looking at Cyber Lead screenshot, I can see exactly what you're trying to build. A lead generation platform that helps agency find potential. This is a perfect example of a database. Okay, so now it's telling me what pages it would like to do. And then I'm going to say, I like the model, but instead of Let's see, what did it say? Do-do-do-do. And the format of the landing pages. But instead of lead generation platforms that helps agencies find potential clients, I want it to be a site to find. What should I say? Potential to find potential side hustle jobs. Yeah, something like that. Online side hustles. That's what I'm going to say. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense as I'm doing this. But we're going to try it out a couple different things. So we have this great pivot. Finding online side hustles is a fantastic niche. Lots of potential. I can see how the cyber leads model will work perfectly for this. Instead of agency leads, we'll be curating opportunities for people to earn money online. Love it. Read database, looked at the database. Here we go. Would you like me to start implementing this plan, beginning with the landing page and authentication setup? Implement plan. Okay. So now we're going to see it starting to build. Thought for 6 seconds. I'll implement the plan starting with the database schema and then the landing page. I understand you are prompting AI with what you need. Exactly right. Exactly right. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, awesome. Let's see. So similar to just like a conversation using ChatGPT, it's doing the same thing. Create categories. And what I'm going to do is do it again using something called Greta. So again, no matter if you're using Greta, Dreamflow, whatever, we can get into the like what platform would you use one over the other. I really enjoy using Lovable. I like the experience, I like the community, all of those things. So as this is building out right here, it says wrote Supabase migration. I'm going to say apply changes. It says I've reviewed the SQL and looks good. Please run it. So it's giving it commands. It's thinking about its life. I need to fix the security warnings before proceeding. Let me address the function path. Okay. So if you're unfamiliar with this is building out a database. So it just means how it's making the application smart in the backend. And so it's doing those kind of things. Okay, great. Fix the main security warnings. The remaining warnings about OTP, is not critical. Now let me create the landing page with authentication. Okay. Very cool. All right. And again, we're going to try this again, doing the same thing with Greta. We're talking with some of the team tomorrow on one of our streams. So wanted to try this out as well. Let's see. Let's see. Active, reliable, scaling rapidly. Top up fits with uninterrupted. Okay, cool. Okay, so as it's working, I'm just looking at other pages right now. So it's editing all this stuff right here in the background. So as that's working, I'm just looking at a few other pages. Let me know if you have any questions, if this is helpful, if I'm going too slow, if I'm not answering enough questions, let me know. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Discover your next side hustle, browse opportunities. So that's pretty cool. Side hustle hub. It's pretty interesting. So it made the page right here. So is this the paid version? So I'm using the paid version right now, but I have multiple accounts. So let's take a look at what the paid versus free version looks like. Because it's just gonna depend on like what you can and cannot do. Let's see. Let's see. Credits use pro enterprise. What is paid now? What is pro? I mean, what is free version? What's the free version? Let me open up another page real quick. Pricing. Okay. So free is 5 daily credits up to 30 a month. Public projects up to 20 collaborators. So that can be free. Then the pro is $25 per month. So then you have a 100 monthly credits. It says 100 credits per month, 5 credits that reset each day. And let's see what I have. What do I have? Daily used. Okay, so mine, I'm using an older version. So yeah, so that's how it's in. But yeah, so the free one, you can do this, but we'll go through. This is the same exact format using something like Greta or Dreamflow. Yeah. So each one has their own, like, and you're seeing it 10 credits to start building, 10x credits, 100. Okay. So all of these are similar credits. How many credits did I use already? What's my credits so far? How many credits did I use? I've used 8 used so far. Okay. So you could roughly build that. Yeah. I can prompt AI with information. I want the user to understand, for example, a lawyer specifying. I get the website on the app. Let's see about this. I want the user to understand, for example, a lawyer specializing a divorce. I get the website and an app. You can. You can. Great question. It depends on how you're formatting it, but you could. You could. So let's go for an example, right? I would say first of all, like define a application. Would it be like an application you want someone to download in the App Store or something called a PWA, which is it's like an optimized website, but a lot of apps are like that. So a PWA, a progressive web app, people can pin the app on their phone, they can access it. It acts very similar to a application, just not native. So all the jargon put aside, do you want them to download it in the App Store or do you just want them to have access to it on their phone? It acts like an app, it's on their mobile device, all those things. For the vast majority, as long as it acts like an app and it's on your mobile device, the simple answer is yes. If you want them to download it in the App Store, there's some reasons I would go against that right now. Very few applications need to be in the App Store, but if you really need it to be submitted to do what you need to do, you could do something like this on Dreamflow. Yeah. But the vast majority, I think this would be fine. Yeah. So right here, we have a landing page. We have a sign in button right here. Okay. So it's going to the sign in button. No, I just need the website. Yeah. It's fine. Then it can work that way for sure. Yeah. And then go from there. Let's see, database, authentication, full sign up, landing page, responsive design, secure database, 8 categories, 3 side hustles, user authentication, user can now sign in. So let's try it out and see if it works. So we have this. Sign up. Account created. Please check your email to verify. Okay. Checking my email if this works. Confirm your sign up. Yeah, confirm your email. Interesting. That is pretty awesome. Just did it. And I can bring it over here. And now I'm signed in. Wow. Sometimes that was a hard thing to do before. Okay, so sign in. Sign in again. Welcome back, it says. So it says welcome back. So I want it to redirect. Okay, so let's chat. I'm going to say, after a user signs in to the website, I want it to redirect to the main homepage. I'll just say the homepage. And you see right here, let me move myself out of the way. I just wrote it right there, and then it's making changes. So it's redirecting, searching navigation, and it's changing everything right here. Okay. So I'm getting some of the pages out of the way. Perfect. Handle sign in. Okay. It's implementing this. It's fixing automatically. There's an error that happened. It's fixing it. Okay. So as this is working, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do this with a different platform. Let me know. BMO machine gaming. Let me know if that makes sense. This is helpful. Okay. Now let's see. Get started. Let's first test this out. Get started for free. Goes right there. Okay. Browse. Okay, get started for free. That works. That button works. Upgrade to premium. Upgrade to premium. Let's see. Let's sign in. Let's go here. Let's go with upgrade. Okay, so we need to work on that. Sign out. Good. Okay, cool. Next up, I need to have the user, when they click the browse opportunity button, to be taken to the page of all of the side hustles in the database for all the different categories of side hustles. Okay. After the user clicks the browse opportunities button, we need them to be then navigated to a new page where they see the database of different side hustle opportunities. Okay. So we'll work on that. Question: how does SSL security work? I know you probably will talk about it, but if the user needs to do a wire transfer, okay, let's talk about a few things. So let's go into, so say for instance, you're saying you want the user to be on the website, go in and pay for a very specific service when they're going that way. Um, is that correct? Like, say for instance, they create an account, you're rendering a service and they're paying for it, and then you want them to pay either using their bank information or a credit card or something like that. If that's the case, the first thing that you're going to have to look at is connecting it with some kind of payment processor like Stripe for you to do those kind of things. That would be the main thing. And you can do that, but you would have to, again, do you have a payment processor or a service like Stripe, or are you going to use something like Padley or something to go through that? That would be the first thing that I'd be looking at. I want them to have that option. Okay. Yeah. So first would be, so let's talk about like the structure of security and everything like that. So first, when you're already having it structured using something like a vector database like Superbase, once they have a unique username and password that they then confirm their email, then they can log in. Then you're going to allow them to, say, for instance, connect it to some type of payment portal. The easiest I would say is probably using Stripe. Then they can pay it via, their bank or something like that. But I would go that route. And again, we can show a little bit of that of the step right there. Let's see. I think I want them to have the option. Don't think so, but an organized website provides me more comfort. Yeah. Yeah, I would do something like that. Yeah. Hopefully that answers the question. Okay, so now we're having this one, data fetching, and it's just saying we're going to have them be able to go onto a different page to see this. Let's take a look. I can't see Clayton. Where is that? Hey, Clayton. Thanks so much for being here. Do you think marketplaces are saturated, or do you feel that they're growing in popularity? Like, what are your building? I would consider a marketplace. I have an idea for something similar. Um, so if I'm not sure if I would consider this a marketplace, but if this is like a marketplace, you would say, the simple answer is yes. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of different marketplaces out there. Like, I guess this could be a marketplace depending on how you look at it. A marketplace I'm looking at is like a two-sided marketplace is buyers and sellers, and you can have a curated marketplace where you're just showing one side or the other. Um, that's how I would define it. But if you want to call this a marketplace, it could be in some way. If I'm going to be, well, it's interesting classifying it that way. But traditional sense of a marketplace having two sides, buyers and sellers, or two different things where you're exchanging value. I think you can definitely, there are tons of different ones out there and they're profitable and it works. If you want to see examples of this, or people I would take a look at I would take a look at ShareTribe, and I would look at their podcast called what is it called, Two Sided, and it breaks down all of these niche marketplaces that people have. So that is where I would start. If I was trying to do like a scalable marketplace, I would probably use something like ShareTribe. We've used them in the past. But just as resources, if you look at their podcasts, it's pretty top notch. Where's their Marketplace Academy? No, no, no. Where is Two Sided, the Marketplace podcast? Copy. Clayton, great question. I love it. I think I would take a look at this. Some of the best episodes of just learning what people are doing, the different types of marketplaces they're doing, everything like this. The reason I would say I think this is slightly different is you're selling data to a target audience. So I view this more as a paywall to information or knowledge as a service kind of thing. So they call it KAS, so knowledge as a service, where you're adding things in this database for people to gain access, and they're paying you monthly for that curated data. So that's what I would say. I would view it as a little bit different than a marketplace, but that's just me. And the other thing I would think about is there are tons of examples if we're doing knowledge as a service. So, say for instance, let's take a look at something called creator hooks. So, creator hooks is I have a subscription to it, but let's take a look at what creator hooks is. So, it's a newsletter that tells you about it's teaching you how important YouTube titles are. It's super niche and they're giving you a score, right? And his database, Creator Hooks Pro, he is charging you for the database. That's what it is. Excuse me. Similar to what we're looking at right here. Excuse me. He is charging $29 a month or $261 a year. Super niche, very profitable for him. He has a newsletter that he's gaining people to get access to those few scores per week. And then he's charging knowledge as a service. He's charging for this data. So it could be knowledge as a service, it could be data as a service, whatever you'd like to call it. But to answer your question, I think it's a huge opportunity for this. We see this in sports, we see this in hobbies, and it's basically all the same thing. You're developing a curated list or curated data. You're giving them some type of access how they can search that database or split the data in different ways and then be able to have access to it as long as they pay. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Let's see. Claim saying so, like if I had a list of health insurance agents, I wanted to sell access to those leads to marketing agencies and generate leads for health insurance. This would be a data as a service. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be data as a service. So you're already having all this stuff in place. They're paying you for access for it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think, I mean, there are just so many different opportunities because your audience, how much that's worth, how much time or money are you saving them, the convenience that you're doing all of this work by curating or having, bringing all these different ones together. Absolutely. I think it's a huge, huge opportunity. We're seeing this pop up all the time. And I think because there are tools like Lovable and others that are allowing more non-technical founders to create this, they're going to pop up more and more. Yeah, I love it. Great question. Great question. Great question. Okay, let me know if that makes sense too, Clayton. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, cool. I think I answered the questions. Cool. All right, let's keep rolling. No problem. No problem. Great question. And again, thank you so much for asking them. BMO Gaming, Machine Gaming, and Clayton, thank you so much for asking these questions. Okay, let's go back into it. Okay, so we're building that out. Perfect. I've implemented a browse page for complete opportunities. Great. Let's take a look at what it does. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I'm seeing the opportunities. Oh, that's interesting. Hmm, that's very interesting. Okay, so I see the opportunities right here. Consulting, none, all categories. That's pretty cool. And then on the back end, I could probably just add where it says apply now. I could either add the exact URL to where they could apply for these different companies. I could have it create a new page with a detailed page of the opportunity. So that's something. The other thing is I would probably need to see, yeah, or I could just go on the back end in Superbase and just update it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So just in a few moments, we have the browsing the opportunities. They can see this. This is great. The other thing is, let's talk about subscriptions. How can they pay for more access to this, right? So I can say, I now see the browse opportunity pages for users to look at the different opportunities for side hustles. I want a user to be able to pay for, let's see what they call it, a premium membership by clicking the upgrade to premium, and the user will be able to pay via Stripe. Okay. So this is a little bit more complicated right here, right? So now I'm getting involved where I need to connect my Stripe account, and there's a lot of security risks of doing this live, but I just want to show you like some of the language that I would use if I was going to be adding this, right? Let me move that over there. So I have that. Let me put it into chat mode so it can think about what it's going to do before it executes. So that's a big thing. I'm automatically going to like move it to chat mode for a while. So it says, I'll help you implement Stripe payment integration for your premium membership. Let me first examine the current code base to understand the existing structure and then create a comprehensive plan. Now let me check the user profile table structure to understand how subscription status is currently handled. So right here, it's thinking about what's going on in the background. It's making the modifications to the database. So imagine it just like an Excel or Google spreadsheet. It's making those changes. Okay, so it's saying edge functions, create checkout, check subscription, portal. Okay. Oh, interesting. So now it's saying subscription verification, customer portal integration, seamless payment flow, subscription tiers. It's doing a lot. So it says right here, required information, Stripe account setup. Do you have a Stripe account? If not, you'll have to go there. Stripe secret key. You'll need your Stripe secret key to set up the payment processing. This will be stored securely in Superbase. I see the current price is $9.99. Is that the final price you want to use? Based on your requirements, is this a reoccurring subscription? So right here, it says, once you've confirmed these details, I'll implement the complete Stripe integration system that will make the upgrade to premium button fully functional. with secure payment processing. I love this. So what you can do right here, if you want, you can copy it, go step by step, put in a Word document, put it in ChatGPT, but go through this process. And that's why I always like let people know, if you're going to go with, you're trying to take payments and everything like that, you're going to have to do a lot of work up front to make sure that you have your account approved, making sure that you have everything with Stripe, all of those things before just jumping in. And it's like, yeah, I want to take payments. There's a lot of different steps. Now, the flip side of that is, if we're trying to make this super basic, and we're just testing to see if anyone's even paying for it, right? Paying us for it. You could always embed like a Venmo or a whatever kind of link to see who pays you, and then when they pay you, you can manually give them access. If it's like, you're like, I don't have a Stripe account, I think this is too much work, and you're just testing to see, hey, are people willing to pay me? Check it out. See if you can start getting people to make payments and go through that process if you feel like this part is too overwhelming. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Okay, so yeah, so we went through the process all the way to adding Superbase for the back end, all of those things. Let's go. Let me know if this makes sense and if this is helpful. If I was going to start off with this, I would probably start making a website first. It would be a minimal backend that you would need, going through all this stuff, and then start going through this step by step. Okay, awesome. Glad that this is helpful. Glad this is helpful. And if you like this kind of stuff, make sure that you like and subscribe. We put out videos every single week. We're going to really ramp up and start putting out a lot of videos coming up with AI powered apps. We've been talking about no code and building without coding for years on this channel, but because there are just so many different options out right now and so many great things to help people build businesses, we're going to be really focused on this for sure. So let's go back to the dashboard for a moment. And I'm going to create a website from scratch. Yeah, page by page. Yeah. And we're gonna go through this kind of, if I was just getting started. Now, what I would probably do if I'm trying to create a site, what would I do? I'm trying to create a website where I could be offering my services and offering to create these like data as a service. So what I'm going to say is, I want to create a modern looking consultancy site. Say that. I want it to be modern like a Apple site. Let me make sure it understands, instead of it's thinking it's a literal Apple. Let me just go to apple.com. I'm going to say, take that. I'm going to say like. I want a clear call to action where people can contact me regarding having my service, where I build a data as a service micro app for their business. Something like that, right? And I'm going to say, I want to create a modern looking consultancy website. There we go. So we kind of gave it some information. Let's just see what it does. Okay, so it's thinking about it. It's going to load a live preview in a little bit. It says, I'll create a modern consultancy website inspired by Apple's clean minimalist design. This will feature a sleek hero section, clear value proposition for your data as a service offerings, and a prominent call to action. It says clean. So it says design vision. Let me zoom in. Oh, Let me do that. There we go. So it says design vision clean, Apple inspired minimalism for premium feel. Professional blue and gray color palette with subtle gradients. And then it breaks down what it's going to be doing. Okay, cool. All right, so it's working on this real quick. Let's see what it does. And I'm probably going to use the same thing as I'm trying these other platforms and to show you a comparison. Let's just do that. Let's look at what Greta's doing. Let's see what it's going to do. And you can see very similar. A lot of platforms are all taking the same like inspiration. This one's giving you a little bit more detail of like the project files that it's creating and everything, which you can do if you click like the code section right here. But for the most part, if you're just getting started, that can be overwhelming. So I just look at the preview before, generates. Right here, it's making all these changes. It's writing the code out. Let's take a look. It says, let me start creating the design and building. So it says show all. And then it's hiding this, but it's building out all of this stuff right here. This is just telling you the type of files that it's making, all those things. If you're interested, I can hide it as well. What I've noticed with this platform, Lovable and others, to generate a site, it's slowing down, so it's making less errors. And I think it's making it more, well, yeah, it's just making it better. Let's take a look at Dreamflow. Individuals creating a basic app or testing features, 10 credits to start. Okay. I gotta see this. Which account am I in? Let's see how many credits I have on this bad boy. Trial. Updated our billing. I only have 10 credits. I gotta go back and ask for more. Done quite a few projects, about 4 months. Ooh. Um, Not bad. Let's see. Custom application. And of course I can make this even better if I gave it fonts that I want, those kind of things. It's doing a couple things, making some animation in the background. Dropping down, get ready to transform your data. I build custom data as a service micro applications that turn your raw data into actionable insights, helping you make smarter decisions and drive growth. Custom data apps, real time analytics, business intelligence. Interesting. Not bad. And so, again, it's about, let's see, contact services. Okay. So I can go back and say, like, hey, I want those additional buttons to do things like that. Okay, so what did that take? A couple minutes to do that? We're working on this. Create a modern Apple inspired consultancy page. Okay, so preview. So it's doing this right here in the background as well. Fixed attempt, command failed. It's already fixing these things right now. I can see the issue. So it's doing a lot of things. It's recreating things. Okay. All right. So we've gone through that. And, you know, this is one of our tools that we like to use, but there are tons. There are tons. So I always let people know, what platform do you like? What platforms do you want to use? There are pros and cons with every single platform out there. Uh, I think one of the best like easy to use, is lovable. They have the best community. Like that's not even a question. Like they have the best community, but it depends on the use case, right? If you're trying to build something where you want to also have it on the App Store, I'm going to use something like Dreamflow. I just have seen a lot of times most people it's overkill. You can just create a PWA, a progressive web app, and use something like Lovable. Uh, also, too. Ooh, I like that. Huh, interesting. And you see, even with the same prompt, depending on the platform you're using, they'll create different things. Transfer your data into revenue. I like this. Ooh, I like that a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. What does it look like on mobile? That's pretty cool. Needs to change the menu a little bit. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. I like that. I like that. And so this is just an example, like test it out. But if you notice, if you have the skill of just learning how to use prompting and how you're using ChatGPT, then you can easily use these different platforms and experiment which ones you like, what's going wrong, your own flow. Tell you the truth, a lot of them have very similar like powers to what you can do, but the nuances would be what's your workflow? Excuse me. Also, what are you looking to create? How fast? And what feels good for you? Right. Um, Again, for me, Lovable, I'm going to use 80 to 90% of the time. But we also use other platforms like Replit, Data Button, Dreamflow. And on this channel, you can see all these different examples and everything like that. So let me know if this is helpful. I'm going to go through a couple more things that I'm trying out right now, different platforms I like. But data as a service, we're really locking in and showing people like this is what I would do if I'm getting started in this space. There are tons of experts, or you have a niche that you can create a data as a service to charge your audience to gain access to. I highly recommend that. I highly recommend that. We've done in the past. We're going to be doing that in the future, but we love talking about different ways that these businesses you're making all of these different streams of income, really, really smart micro apps for your audience. They're one featured applications that you can sell and scale. And that's what we're passionate about. So again, data as a service, yes, I definitely love to talk about it, but like I think the bigger conversation is making micro apps or one featured applications that you can provide for your target audience, or a company that you can create these kind of micro apps for. Yeah. Great, great, great stuff. Okay, so let's go through. I'm just gonna kind of blitz kind of my research and what I'm looking for. If people have questions, like what I'm looking at, those kind of things, let me know. But if you have not used before Product Hunt, but this is what I use almost daily, of like what is out there, what are people getting right now, or what are people using, and then trying it out. Look, discover your next your breakout feature, get user feedback, the AI prototyping platform for product. Look, it's almost the same exact format as every other like platform out right now. Like Lovable, you see generate. It's very easy. It's just a text box. And this is for who's this for? Design new features with AI. Okay, interesting. Turn your podcast into viral video clips. So it's similar to Opus Clip. Jotform has a Gmail agent. That's cool. New MOE model for AI generation. Notion style editor for TipTap Cloud. Okay. Yesterday's product. Build browser automations with AI. Copycat. Automate any web task by combining browser agent prompts and deterministic actions, no coding required. Common use cases: invoice uploads, insurance portal automation. Customers in healthcare use Copycat to automate filling out complex insurance websites and forms. Huh, interesting. Bank portals: customers use Copycat to automate legacy bank workflows, including bank statements and downloads. Interesting. Kind of weird. I like their website. It's interesting. Browser proxies, 500 credits one time. Hmm. Hmm. Pretty expensive, but it's doing a lot of things. So it reminds me of Manus, pretty much. Interesting. What else we got? A free open source embeddable video conference app. Interesting. A frictionless peer-to-peer video conferencing app for the web that can be embedded in any web page. Interesting. First agentic canvas for building apps visually with AI. That was the number one tool for last week. You see what I'm saying? Turn your ideas into live apps and websites with AI. Looks almost identical to all of to Lovable and all these other sites. I can't be mad when there's a format that works, or even if we're looking at V0 or others, it's just going to do the same thing. Okay, let's take a look at these other sites, and then we'll call it a day. So we looked at Greta, which is interesting. Look at a few others. I don't even know how to say that word. Kulaba? Come on, bro. Some of these names. I don't even know how to say that. Kulaba. All right, let's take a look. Put that there. Greta's over here. We move some things out of the way. Hook here. Okay. Kulaba. Greta, we just looked at. All right, what am I looking at? Go back to the product. See. The next one I'm going to be looking at is Creative Score. Let's take a look at what this is. Optimize your marketing creative. Stop guessing which ads convert. Leverage AI-powered tool to analyze and optimize your marketing assets. Okay, interesting. Creative Score. Okay, so it's almost like a heat map. All right, let's activate it. I could see the benefit of this if you're running a lot of ads. Okay, let's check it out. Measure creatives. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating an account right now. I'm trying to see like just overall hand placement, like keyboard, if this is helpful. Save. Let's take a look. Creative score. Okay. Upload first session. Standard analysis costs 5 credits. Uploading your files. Conversion focused versus brand building focused. Asset information. Standard. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I already have to upload if I want to use this. Okay. So you're uploading. You upload the credit and then it just gives you an update of like what it's going to do. Yeah. Okay. So I just need to upload my ad if I want to. Okay. Cool. Let's look at the next one. So again, if you're just joining, I'm looking at a couple different tools. I'm just signing up for them. I'm doing a webinar with a couple of these platforms tomorrow. So I'm testing them out, which ones I like. Again, we just talked about Greta, using that out. It's very similar to Lovable. Interesting output that it made. I actually like this one better, to tell you the truth. But I didn't give Lovable a lot to work with, but neither did I did with Greta. I would probably use V0 if I'm gonna like go for inspiration or something like that. Let's see, activate now. Let's take a look at the next tool I'm looking at. What is this? Generate UGC shoppable videos with AI. Don't burn out trying to write viral scripts. Leverage AI to help you create engaging scripts. And basically, let's see. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to tag your product, tell it the type of product you're doing. Oh, you get a script, and then it just creates AI, yeah, avatars. So it's like Cynthia. What do you call that? It's like HeyGen and a few others. Yeah, so you're combining basically a script and then you're having it run like HeyGen, which probably HeyGen is probably the best one out there right now. See, video agent will build the story, generate the voice, handle the edit. Wow, that's pretty crazy though. That's pretty crazy now. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. The pricing has just dropped dramatically how much this stuff used to cost. Let's take a look. So what I'm doing is I'm signing up for this. Sign up with work email. Let's see. Okay. Let's connect. All right. Let's see what it does. So if I was trying to build something out like this, either for my own business or rendering this as a service, So what do we have? Viral scripts, unlimited. Video generations, 25. Let's see what we got here. 65 if we do license 2. Personal brand avatars, 0, which makes sense on the first one. Create high converting video scripts from trending data. Interesting. Let's see, beta test. 30 seconds, paste URL, product or collection. Well, let's try to do this. Let's do this from a client. See what happens. Select video type. Let's do YouTube short, campaign, product demo. Oh, or unboxing. That's cool. Select audience type. Say millennials. Select tone. Let's see. Explore is fine. Select campaign goal. Conversions. Select call to action. Shop now. Okay, let's see what it does. Cooking magic. Please wait. Unboxing. So it says this is. Okay, so it says, okay, so I just got this wood sign carving kit and wow, hands, and then it says on screen, visual hands excitingly opening package. Okay, that's interesting. Let's generate the video. That's interesting. Someone in the car. Let's use this one. There we go. Create your own. Start generating. Okay. So this is really good, especially with teams that have a limited budget. You're not paying, you don't have time, you don't have the budget for paying an influencer, perhaps. This could be a really good option for you. Or you just want more control over the messaging and everything. Let's keep going. All right, let's see. Huh. Let's take a look at this. Welcome. What is this? Sign up. Okay. Sign up for this thing. So I'm signing up for a new platform right now. If I can spell, that would be great. Let's take a look here. Okay, done. Signed up. Okay. Then enter the credentials and log in. I'll show the screen in 1 second. Take a few minutes. Verify via email. Confirm email. Let's do it again. Let's go here. Okay, save. What does this do? Let's take a look. What is exactly what this does? Content automation tool to write, schedule, and publish SEO friendly blog posts. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's okay. Yeah, it's just making different types of content for you. Take a look. Okay, now I have that. Let me redeem. Congratulations. Okay, so I have like expires. Okay, so what I have like a couple thousand credits. AI info bulk article provide keyword and 100% unique SEO friendly informative short info article AI info manual subheading. So depending on what I'm trying to create, it just kind of helps create this. Interesting. Okay. Another tool if you're trying to create blog posts for a client or something like that. Redeem there. And then what is this? Cap show. What is this? Whip up branded long form content. Wish you had a winning content for multiple platforms. Create content short form videos. Okay. Okay. Similar. Interesting. So similar to this one, but it's just different types of content. All right, let's take a look. Let's see, sign in. Let's see what we have to do. Sign up. All right, let's create an account. Close. Let's redeem. Start playing winning content game. Okay, let's take a look. Drop in or put a YouTube video. So let's try it out. Let's put a YouTube video and see what it does. Let's Let's do 5 tools. Let's add this. Copy. Put this over here. Let's see. 5 AI tools. Number of minutes required for the upload. Number of minutes you have available, 100. Okay. What kind of content are you uploading? This is content I create on my own channel. Choose a persona. I'm going to say Derek. Shout out to Derek White. Describe yourself. Let's see. Entrepreneur. Come on now. Come on, you can't add this. Why can't I use voice here? Who meditates? Let's see. Creates meditation playlists. Who okay. Who's your audience? That's tough. I'm going to say professionals, business professionals. What are they trying to look for? I'll say ways to make money online. Let's see, tone. Conversational. Save. Guest. No. Includes an intro. No. Save. Processing. Let's take a look at what it does. Move that out of the way. All right. There we go. If people are wondering, I am what's the tool I'm using? Capsho, testing it out. To repurpose video files, audio and video files into written content, social clips, and scroll stopping graphics. We'll see about that. Easy train to write like you, continuous self-learning, intelligent video clip identification. Someone was asking me like what AI tools I use for creating clips and things. So there's 2 different ones for clipping software and everything. I would pretty much go with like Opus Clip is probably the best. And then there was an AppSumo deal, which is basically a bootlegging their idea. It's called like Menvo. It's almost the same exact thing. I see that Opus Clip changed their homepage, but basically Menvo took their old one and then just put it up right here. Create text, did all of that right here. Yeah, it just depends on the price. But Opus is probably just, yeah, it's just killing it. It keeps changing, like adding new things that you can do for the clips and everything. Really specific. I think this is really important, but I would also mention that we've seen using like repurposed clips, like it can allow you to have a larger like top of funnel, like more range or more of an audience. But the conversion pieces, when you're creating content specifically for clips and not repurposing, they perform a lot better. That's what we've seen so far over multiple creators and things like that. Yeah. So I would probably use this if I just feel like I need to get something out there, I need to have more content consistently. This is a great idea. If you're trying to like build out a process of something very specific, I would probably be looking at Probably repurpose.io. Shout out to Repurpose. Seeing what they've been doing for years, they just keep getting better and better. But I've been a fan for years. This one is almost like the Zapier, I would say, where you're building out the pipes of what you want it to do to repurpose, versus Opus is going to be creating the clips and everything and choosing a lot of things for you. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Uploaded complete. Get started. Let's see about getting started. What the topic? Let's see. Next, choose a premise. Call to action. Interesting. I'll say download the guide or something. Something like that. Text context for this action. I'll just say, subscribe to the YouTube channel. To learn more tips, subscribe to the channel. Take a look at that. Okay, cool. So interesting. So it's processing, making title and description, those kind of things. Okay, so we went through a lot of tools. Again, if you want to see more about like app building in 60 minutes, like we were doing earlier, we kind of went off on a tangent at the end of this. But if you want to see us doing more things about like Lovable and breaking down what we would use, let me know. And we're going to come back with more videos about how to use these kind of platforms. In general, we're looking to use AI to be more, I would say, efficient with time and create things. So let me know if you have any questions. We'll be back later in the week with more videos and kind of what we're going to be creating going from there. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to support the channel, feel free to subscribe. We do this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.